something a little bit different today. Usually I'd start with the fucking whatever. But we're doing something different. We're going to be talking about fencing. We're going to be talking about some exercises that I used to do when I was fencing, and some of the do's and don'ts and stuff like that. I talked about it a little bit before I got, 44 followers? I think I was still at like 10, maybe. Was it like 10 or something? But anyway, that's what we're going to do. So, yeah, we're streaming on YouTube and Twitch today. Because I wanted to, so that's what we're doing. I might join Discord to talk to people if people want to do that. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Sorry about that high pitched whatever the fuck that was. I'll pull up Discord on my thing just in case I feel like it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to here, and then we're gonna go to Twitch and pull up my channel, and then put it, because the goal is to push for affiliate, as you know. And we have Nightbot now, so if you do /YT or /X, I mean exclamation mark X. If you do exclamation mark X, you'll get my Twitter. And if you do exclamation mark YT, you'll get my YouTube. Spinning duck. I didn't mean to send that. Edit. There we go. And then alright. So how we all doing? So we're just gonna get to it. I'm gonna get my fencing bag, and yeah, that's what we'll do. That's what we're going to do. Alright, let me go get my bag, my fencing bag, and I'll show you pretty much what's in there. Go over some things that I used to use, and talk about some stories and stuff. If you have questions about fencing or whatever, I will answer to the best of my ability. I'm no expert, even though I've done it for what? I started in like 2018, so 18, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, I'm gonna say 6-7 years, give or take, because 2020 obviously was COVID, but so we're gonna say 6-7 years I've been doing it for, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, let me go get my bag, and I'm gonna go get a water, and we'll get started. Oh, we are ready. Now that we're ready, we're gonna get started. I'm gonna talk about what's in the bag, what kind of workouts I do, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'll get right to that. And we're also gonna be doing some workouts from back when I was part of the fencing stuff. So we're gonna do some stretching and all that, cause yeah. I'm gonna put all of this in case there are any notifications and stuff, because last time I almost hurt my own ears because I scared myself. All right, so again, I am somewhat of a trained professional. Use all this with caution. Don't, and I'll go over some safety stuff. Right here are the pants. I'm not gonna say it because it could be confused with something else, and I don't want to get in trouble. But it starts with a K and stuff. I'll just later I'll put on. But yeah, but these are like the pants you wear, because if you wear shorts and stuff, you could get cut, and we don't want that. It's all about being safe and having safety precautions. We got the glove, obviously, same the reason. I've had injuries from fencing without a glove. You get cut, you get, God forbid, it breaks and it could stab you. It won't protect you completely, but it will protect you for like minor stuff. And if it does stab you, there'll be less damage if it stabs you. So I do saber, so I got a saber mask here. I've had this since high school. You can tell because the Sharpie on the back is faded. There's my last name on there, but you can't even read it, so I don't know why I blocked it. Anyway. This is a saber. This is my fencing saber. Again, I do sports fencing, Olympic type fencing, not like what's it called, kendo or stuff like that. But this is what I have for saber number 1. Some of you might have seen it on Discord yesterday because I did put some of this on and was playing with this. Next, we got saber number 2, which is in protected, because this one was main. This was kind of a backup one. This was my main one I would use. It has a this one has broken once or twice. I have broken a couple sabers in my time. I have a bunch of broken pieces upstairs, which I might get in a little bit. But yeah, this is the saber that has gotten me through high school and my time at Marist College, now Marist University. We got a arm protector because, again, safety is number 1 when it comes to this. You don't want to accidentally hurt somebody, so this is kind of an extra protection. Next, we got the jacket. Now, the jacket I have is a back zip. Everybody pretty much hates back zips because if you're by yourself, which I am right now, you can't zip this up unless you have a thinner body frame. For me, this is kind of hard to do. I can't zip it. I can get it halfway, but otherwise it gets stuck and I need help because of all the muscle. Now, creating into the electronic stuff portion. Now, this is called the lame. The lame is part of the target. So the targeting for saber is this. the lame, so all of the metal grade mesh part on here, the mask, and here, the glove where the metal, where the white part is on the glove. Now, I have another glove. This one has been my one I had since high school. You could tell it is old because it is broken. Not broken, it has a hole in it. But here are the wires I have. We got one wire. So how this works is basically you plug it in. I'll try to show this as best as possible. You plug it in here, plug it in like that, and then this plugs into the machine, and then this will connect to your lame. This connecting to your lame is a way for it to create a circuit. Hopefully you are understanding this, chat, and I'm not just like rambling. If you don't get anything or you need me to explain anything further, let me know. All right? So this is the head cord. It's called the head cord because it connects to your mask. It's not a helmet, it is a mask. That's ingrained in me because the amount of push-ups I've had to do throughout high school because of my coach. So this connects to the lame and your mask. And every time somebody said the H word, helmet, we would have to do 20 push-ups every time. Every time. So if somebody says it multiple times, we're doing several sets of 20. And that's after workouts. That's like running, stretching, and after doing all that, when people are getting their gear on. So if some people even have all their stuff on, and they would have to do 20 push-ups with it all on. I was one of those people. It sucked every time. Here's another cord here. This one's kind of all messed up because it was in my lame. And here is one more. Now, usually I would have bandanas in my bag. I don't. I have one which is just a sleeve of a shirt that I cut. I will actually go upstairs and get the other ones. Hold on. Alright, we're back. So, as I was saying, I wear bandanas when my hair got long, right? So, we have a Hawaii type, luau type one, and we have like these several of like American type flag type shit, because these were the only ones I had, and it kept the hair out of my eyes, especially in college, because I didn't cut my hair until I got home during breaks and stuff, which were far and few in between. So a lot of the time I was using these to keep the hair out of my eyes. So said before, the black one, the black sleeve one. So it's a lot, and you sweat a lot wearing all this stuff, which is a fun experience, a very fun experience. Obviously, I'm joking, because in tournaments, you could go for hours. It could be a day, and you gotta keep your stuff on because you don't know when you're being called up, or you do know when you're being called up and you're just waiting. Especially during like lunch when they give you like a time period to just eat. So you don't really know when you're gonna be going, and it's a lot to deal with. So you sweat, and by the time you get back from your tournament, usually you're exhausted. Now, I had this ritual because it got me third place twice. But it was a ritual that I wouldn't sleep the night before, and I would stay up all night. Now, you're gonna think that sounds insane, but the 2 times I've done it, I got third place. And one was an individual tournament, one was a team tournament, and I got third place in both, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, when it comes to fencing, it is a very, very like physical sport. Especially when you're fencing against me, I tend to be a bit more aggressive than usual. Usually I'm, as you can probably tell, I'm not the most like, but when it comes to fencing and stuff like that, I'm screaming, I'm like, bah! And like, or I'm like, or I like, will do like a bark. Like I'm not, this isn't a joke. Like I'll go like, oh, oh, whenever I get like a point or something like that. Now, like, cause I'm like super competitive sometimes, like super competitive. It's a bad habit to be in. I'm not gonna lie, but competitive. I've always been competitive with like my brother or anything like that. So when it comes to stuff like that, I am super super competitive. Um, and that's just how it is. I've always been competitive. I've always tried to be the best that I can be. Always tried to put myself out there. Always try to do this, that, the other. So what I'm trying to say is I'm always competitive. Always wanting to win. Always wanting to improve. Always wanting to do better. When it came to fencing, I used to be skinny, small, and quite frankly, I was the runt of the fencing team at my high school. I rarely fenced. I barely competed. And when I did compete, I only got third place once, and it was a tie. Now, when I came to college, I became a captain. I got to teach new people, and I got to bring people into fencing and got people somewhat involved in fencing and stuff like that. I'll make sure that's plugged in all the way. All right, now, how does one wear all this stuff? You might be wondering. I'm gonna put on some of it so you guys get a grasp, but like I said before, some of it I cannot put on because quite literally my shoulders are too big and will not let me zip it up. So let me take my phone out. I'm actually gonna join Discord. Fuck it. Alright, we're gonna join. Okay, let's go on mute. Okay, we're gonna go Discord. Sure. We're gonna go to the queue. Alright, so I'm just gonna be on here talking. And if anyone won't join, you can, obviously. So, like I was saying, all this. How do I go about wearing all this? Now, usually when it comes to fencing, when I go to when I did fence, I would wear a tank top and shorts to tournaments. Cause it didn't matter if it was fucking 32 degrees out. I'd still wear shorts and a t-shirt or a tank top. Cause with the tank top, it's like less fabric, less you have to deal with when putting stuff on, and stuff like that. So this was one of the shirts I wore specifically for fencing tournaments. These shirts are new. I didn't wear them for fencing. I don't know how it's gonna feel when I put all this on. So we're gonna figure that out together. Anyway. What was I saying? Like I was saying, just being putting all this together, it's gonna be a bit of a disaster, kind of. So yeah. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the Twitch stream on the TV over here so I can read chat better while I put this all on. I'll be right back. Well, I'll be right here. We'll be able to talk and stuff, but this is just for me. This is just for me. Actually, I can probably just pull up YouTube because, yeah. Actually, that might actually work because Twitch would be the Twitch chat. Because I think it's a combined chat, so they'll see both. They'll be able to see both. Okay. Wait. Sorry, this is taking so long. There we go. Put you on mute. Alright, so we got Twitch chat up there so I can see you guys. So yeah, we're gonna put all this on. I'm gonna turn this over so I can see more when I put all this on. So if you guys want to test it and type in chat so I can see that it's working, that would be perfecto. Are you guys fucking me, I guess? Yeah. I just want to say for myself, so I might have to shape my phone. There we go. Yeah, I can see it. Alright, sick. So I can see chat on my phone now. On my TV now. So that's good. So I'm going to show you what it's like to get changed. Actually, I'm just going to put this on. What it's like boost up my fucking volume. Because goddamn, I'm quiet on the TV. Alright, so when it comes to fencing, what you need to do is obviously I'm going to put on my bandana. We're going to put on this black one, the black sleeve, because I don't want to deal with anything else. So we're going to do that. Hopefully you can't hear the TV. Alright, so now that we got that on, usually what I do is put on the pants. Where are they? Here they are. Sorry about the stop right. So you got any questions? You got any questions? Put it in chat. I'll read it. Also, I forgot. You're gonna need fencing socks, which are upstairs, and I'm gonna go get those on because I don't have my shoes on. So I'll be right back. And if anybody joins the Voice BZ, just fucking entertain my stream. So usually, most of my bag, I don't know why they weren't in my bag, but usually you have bees, which are fencing socks, and yeah. I did not know you could hear that. I am so sorry. Put you down there. So usually you have some fencing socks like these. So I'm gonna put these on. You might see my rippers. You do. Just don't fucking glue it. It's that goddamn simple. So sorry. You are not getting my feet. You're not getting my feet today, bitches. Usually they're longer socks. These were ordered wrong when they did them. So they're really fucking long. You'll see what I set up. Cause like my entire leg, cause it's like I have leggings on. That's what it's like. For all you women out there. Yeah. Probably not even watching it. But if you were, you understand. And the other ones are too small for me, so this or I have to go dig through laundry. Okay, I think we're good. obviously it's a bit loud. Alright. Now we put on the pants. No, yeah. Because then you have to take off your shoes off, obviously, because it's fucking hot. So, and if anybody in this Discord, you could obviously ask me questions and stuff, because I am going pretty fast here. See how I look. So, put these on. Because usually you want the socks and stuff to be under, because it's an extra layer of protection. All this is to protect your legs, your face, and your arms and body. Also, you're not allowed any sort of jewelry, so I'm going to take this all off. Christ, I'm a thick motherfucker. And yes, I know they do look like overalls. It's just the design, okay? An older type of thing, because these are old. So next, I'm just gonna take this off because my hair isn't long enough. But that's what I usually do. I'd have that or one of the bandanas on the floor. Next, I put on the arm protector. Now the arm protector simply goes over your dominant arm, the one that you'll be fencing with, right? Then you put it on like so, like this, like that, right? Next is the jacket. Now the jacket is kind of difficult when you're alone. Same with the lame, depending on what type of if you have a thick neck like me, it's kind of hard for the Velcro, especially if it's old Velcro. So I have to be gentle with it. As you can see, I am struggling right now. And already I am hot. And as you know, I was in a tank top and fucking shorts. Ooh, that was pop. My shoulder pop. I'm just like showing my fucking ass. Holy shit. As you can see, it's a bit of a struggle, so I'm not gonna zip it all the way. But this is what it would look like if you fenced epee, but you'd have a wire, which is next on the list of things you need. I look like a marshmallow right now. So next, you want to set up your lame. So for the lame, pretty easy. And again, this is a back video, so I'm going to struggle again. So depending on how I feel, we'll see if we get all this on. And this is actually a bit bigger, so I might actually be able to get it all the way up. Hold on. As you can see, I am a fat fuck, so probably. Let's fix this. And usually if you had a pocket, because some lemonades have pockets in them, you put this end into the pocket. Since I don't have it, I kind of just tuck it into my side. Like so, until I need it. Because otherwise, if you have a pocket, you just don't use it, you're kind of damaging, you could damage the wire and stuff, and you don't want to do that. So, obviously I can tip it all the way up. Again, if I could attach a string to it, actually that might work. We'll do it for next stream. Anyway, next is the glove. I'll show you. This is kind of what it looks like. Oh, I forgot one. Where's my headquarters? There she is. There's my beaut. Next is the headquarters. We're going like this, but the headquarters is this thing, and freaking the arm. Your thing. You got the little tab here. On the back. That's what you're connected to. Next is the glove. So the glove goes on, and this stuff isn't zipped on all the way, and I'm sweating. So put this on. I just hoping nobody. Well, I do, but like at the same time, like I just know it's gonna come from there. It's gonna come from there. It's gonna scare the shit out of me. Alright, and then there we go. Put the glove on. Some gloves are more for like tournaments and stuff. Some of them are like tournament regulated. Like my old one, that's more like tournament regulated for some tournaments. This works for most things. It's cheaper, and yeah. Ow. Yeah, stop trying to clip off. Now, in college, I feel like I graduated, but it matters. I am sorry, microphone. In college, I went to 50, and I did about to 100 once. 50 was, those two were the hardest things I've ever done in my life, and I've done a lot of hard shit. Oh shit! We're good. Just put on my shoes now. Okay, next, you gotta set up your saber. So obviously, you have a tube like this. You take it out, da da da, and then you just plug it in, like so. And then your saber's all ready. Your saber's all ready to use for your minutes. So next is usually you don't do this to like the end, but yeah. So I'm gonna put the piece aside because we don't need that one, huh? Then last but not least is the mask. Now the mask, obviously, just put that on and we put it on like so. There you go. I'm all geared up. Now, Now this is the most. And sometimes if your socks are long enough, they will start to roll up like it is right now. And it fucking sucks. Anyway, what was I saying? I haven't eaten lunch yet. Anyway, like I was saying, then you get ready, start your bout, da 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 da, you win, and then you go to your next, da 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 da, you win, and then you usually get a break. Also, this is all dependent on where you get in the bracket. You get breaks first or last or what have you. And then you put these in, plug yourself into the machine, and then you get ready. Da da. And you fence. Then when you're done, you unpack and take all this off. And I'm gonna take off my fucking fancy socks or leggings or fucking stockings. That's what I was looking for. The word earlier. Stockings, not fucking leggings style. I'm a bit dumb, as you can probably tell. And I am wearing clothes which in the red app, so the red and purple apps tend to get you titties in a bunch. Okay. I'm just gonna take these off. I'm gonna fix it up. And I'm gonna actually show off some workouts and stuff. And these are all tangled up. So this, that, right, that. Now we're all good. I'm gonna wear these because I can. So fuck you. You don't have to. It's not anyone's following me anyway, so. Alright. I'm gonna put all my shoes on again. Even my feet are just like sweating right now. So talk workouts and stuff. So obviously, first you want to stretch. So a lot of the stretches is some simple moves that we would do. Is one of them is called a lunge. Now, what you do to stretch out said lunge is to lunge and just stretch it out like that. Now, when you're lunging in a normal belt, my feet should be flat and not like this. Because if it's like this, then you risk of rolling and hurting yourself and tearing shit. So stretch out. So I'm gonna move the camera and I'm gonna move my laptop and shit. So if it gets laggy, I'm sorry, because we're gonna move to the hallway of my my shit. Obviously, when fencing, you want to keep your shit neat and together. So any excess stuff you just want to keep with your bag. All right. Okay. I'm sorry if this gets loud. I'm sorry. This is probably gonna get loud. Use this whole hallway for exercises and stuff. Now, for exercises, we usually do what's called advance and retreat. So what an advance is a step forward, and what a retreat is a step backwards. So I'm gonna move the camera so it's facing down more, and I'll show you what those look like. Yes, you get to see my feet. So yeah. So when advancing, want your whatever leg you're whatever side you're fencing with, that's gonna be your front leg, right? So this is the feet placement. You want your front foot like this. You want to make a 90-degree angle, sort of, with your feet. So an advance is simply you want your knees bent. So an advance is that, front, back, and then a retreat is back, front. So just like that. That's all it is. Back and forth, back and forth. Now I'm going to do that all the way up and all the way down. And yeah, I'm going to move the camera back up because I don't need you guys staring down there. Alright. So, how we doing, chat? Is this entertaining? Is this something you guys want me to do more of? Because I will. I like this stuff. I like fencing. I'll start doing more of what I enjoy. Obviously, I do enjoy working out. Obviously, this is stuff that I do enjoy. But I'll do more fencing, more games, more stuff like that. If you guys want. Comprende? Alright. I'm going to go back. We're going to start. And actually, for mine, let me use my saber. I'll use my saber because I do this sometimes when I'm alone, got nothing else to do. So I'm going to use this just to hold on to my advances and retreats. Let's get to it. And it's just stepping, stepping, just going all the way up and then all the way back. Obviously, there's more stretches and stuff. I'm going to go over. You guys want me to do more of this. And when we're done, we do what's called a advanced lunge. So I'll go over that. So as I showed, the advance is just step, step, right? So then the lunge is just, I'll show it for you again. You're going to need, actually, you see it. So, lunge is big step, and you're doing that. See how my foot is planted? My back foot's planted, and my front foot's planted. If you do this, obviously, you get more distance, but you risk hurting your foot. But we don't want that. We want safe. So we're going to keep our back foot planted. And for hand placement, I'll show you. So I showed you the advance, showed you the retreat, I showed you the feet placement for a lunge. Now for the hand placement, what you want to do is extend and like that, because you want to hit the guy. So you want to extend like you're punching your hand out, but you don't want to punch your hand out, obviously, because you don't want to hurt the guy. And if you do that, that's a, I forget what type of card, I think it's a black, which is like disqualification. But you want to hit them with the blade, because the blade gets you the points. Hitting somebody here with this won't get you points. That's how you get someone hurt. So what you want to do is, I'll show you the whole thing. Advance, lunge, I'm not like punching out like this. I'm hands out and down. Out and down. That's all you need to do when it comes to use for attacking. Obviously there are different points to attack, like to the head, to the body. So I will show you the different cuts if you guys want. So the different cuts are 5, which is head. I forget which is this one, but you just go to the sides. And I'm gonna put my glove on because this grip is rubber and it burns my hand. So I'm gonna go get the glove. And then we're gonna do retreats. And then we're gonna do double advances and double retreats, which I'll go over. Super simple, super easy, kinda. It's literally just retreat, retreat. And advance, advance, pretty much. So let me go get my glove. I'll show you. I'll do the retreat and stuff. And we'll go over the rest. So we go right A for retreats. So 1. And you see how my arm is just keeping that weapon up because you want to be ready for to parry or to be able to tap that blade, because I'll have to go over what right away is, but basically it's what allows you to attack. Also, sorry for my shoes squeaking. I don't mean for that to happen. But so what right away is basically in saber and foil. Epee doesn't have it, that's why it sucks. But basically, what epee allows you to do, what right away allows you is kind of like gets you the point, pretty much in saber and foil. There's other ways to go about it to allow yourself to get the point without having right away. Like if in saber, if I just cut and obviously the guy's not ready, and I get, if it's one light, I get the point. It's called something else. I'm blanking on what it's called, but you want to be able to be the first one off the line and attack. Even if it's just like a small, like you get off first and then you can just attack, let them come forward because they didn't see. They step forward slightly and then boom, you get that point. Now what I'm doing here, this motion is just a cut. I'm just cutting. You don't need to know that. But, so right away allows you to move forward. So basically, the same attacks is kind of like where you want to parry. So for 5, which is the head, you want to parry like this. So if like a saber comes down, you are solid. And here, which is protecting this side, and then here, which is protecting this side. And this just protects your hand. I've gone over that. Anyway, like I was saying, anyway. So, basically, then, what was I doing? I was talking about right away, right. So, right away is pretty much, once they finish their attack, if you parry them or counterattack or even just tap their blade, that's considered like loss of right away. So if I just, we're fencing, and say you're coming at me, and I just tap. Now I have right away, and I can advance and attack. So, yeah. Now, I'm of the belief that video games fighting is sometimes not like I know what it's like. I know like these big swings. Obviously you can, but it's just impractical. Like I could just swing like that, can hit somebody in the arm, but like see how much time it takes me to do. Oh, I get hit. Oh, I'm dead. So it's all about just being quick. Just even just. See how I'm just being fast and quick with it? That's all you need. At least in sports fencing. Obviously, it's different. Different rules, different things, da 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 da. Yes, I know. But for what I do, it's just quick to tap, tap, tap. You don't need these big whoa. And obviously, it could lead to injuries, and we don't want that. You know what I mean? So, again, be careful. Obviously, this sport is dangerous. You can get hurt. I have gotten hurt. It's not fun. And you could get bruises. You could get literal like marks on your back that it looks like you got whipped. It's happened to me because old fencing, unlike now, wasn't electric. And things like saber and all that, you had to hit hard. So they would like full on like a whip. Now obviously not like I just did, like the big pull back, boom. But like it was like, oh, you see how like I'm whipping it? You could hear the wind like that. Obviously I do that sometimes, because sometimes I just can't control it. My own strength sometimes, so I accidentally just hit them too hard. You know what I mean? So then I have given people bruises, made people bleed, and I've apologized, and they're okay. I'm sure they don't miss that. But yeah, obviously I miss fencing in general, but this is how I'm gonna continue doing it, doing stuff like this, and just play around and doing stuff. Also, another fun thing is, I'm gonna go over something. As you can see, I'm not really like crossing my feet. I'm keeping my feet like planted. The only way in saber you can cross your feet is if you're retreating. So it's like, boom, boom, like that. But you always want to keep this position. So you're facing forward, saber out, and you're like keeping your eye on your opponent. And I'm gonna have to advance. But it's just a crossover, and you're back, and you're further. Now, if you're foil and epee, you can literally just walk. Foil and walk, you can just walk and just hit them, stab. Obviously, you have to stab them, but you lead to stuff like toe touches and there's something called toe touches in fucking epee, which is stupid. I hate it because the lame allows it to be more like centralized, but in epee you have to worry about everything. So from head to toe, you have to worry about getting hit, and it's painful. It is painful getting stabbed in the foot when you have like little protection compared to getting hit in the arms, the head where you have actual protection. It's just simple. It's like getting hit on your hand that you don't have any protection for. So for this one, usually you keep behind your back. You do this, or what I do is I just keep it down, and as you probably can tell, like I've done, like seeing me do this, I'm just like keeping it down, keeping it low, not like, obviously keep it up like this, or like even like this, glow and out of the way sort of thing. So next is the retreats. No, actually it's double advances, which I'm gonna go do, which is literally just double retreats. It's literally steps up, steps up. Literally all it is. I'm gonna go do the double advances. We'll be back. And yeah. I get water. Still been talking. Again, cut me off. I'm rambling too much. Oh, also, if you notice what the stamps on the thing are for is for tournaments. So you'll see them on gloves that have been to tournaments, and masks that have also been to tournaments. They mark your gear. You can see I've been to one tournament with this glove, and I've been to like 2 or 3 with the other one. So next is double lenses. So let's get to that. Obviously, I'm gonna, because I know what I'm doing, I know I'm not gonna, like, obviously, if you just do it once or twice, you're gonna be fine. I did the leg thing, where I, instead of keeping it flat, I bent it. Obviously, don't do that. But yeah. I just did because I wanted to. And then we do double retreats. And double retreats, which are literally just step back, kind of like it's what the double events is, just retreats. So fix my saber instead of bending it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Again, sorry for the squeaking of my shoes. Obviously, it's a lot faster, but if I do it any faster, as you can see, I did it on the back. You heard that squeak, 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 and I don't want to hurt you guys' ears. But I can show it fast, which I'm going to do all this quickly, just to show off a few things. Alright? Sorry for your ears. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Actually, I'm just going to take off my shoes. Fuck it. If I slip, I slip. didn't mean to slide, but I slid. Obviously, you can see how fast I could go, so we're gonna do retreats. Little dance. Obviously, I'm slipping and sliding. Obviously, you can tell I'm not conditioned like I was. This has been almost a year. Since I've been out of practice. There's water that spilled up. Sprayed out. Anyway, how we doing, chat? You guys understanding what I'm putting down is understandable? Please tell me. Please. Switch on my fucking laptop. I just want to see. Unstable. Sick. Alright. I'm just kind of going through shit. Make sure everything's good. Yes, you're good. Alright. Huh. They changed their mod page. That's pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Huh. I haven't been on Twitter. I'm dumb. Alright. So anyway, like I was saying. Pretty much gonna end stream here, guys. I'm tired. So yeah. Hope everyone had a good stream today. And yeah. Bye.